questions here. So if we want to start in interview, so what is the first question generally we face?
Explain it to us.
Yes.
Introduce about yourself.
Introduce ourselves.
So introduction they will ask. So Srinivas, how will you give introduction? Can you explain here?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Yes, I am. I can hear you, Srinivas. Can you explain how can you give
Yeah.
your introduction?
Introduction means my self introduction or a project, right?
First, give self introduction, then about the project use case and user story.
Yeah. This is Srinivas. I completed my MBA from Andhra University. I have total 4 years of experience in Anaplan. I have total 10 years of experience in IT experience. In this one, 4 years of experience in Anaplan. So right now I'm working in the as a senior consultant in JSW Steel. Right now I'm working in the budgeting and planning project. Basically, what we are doing in the this planning activities. We are getting the Asif, explain the supporting project or development activities.
Development project only you should give.
Okay. I have 4 years of experience in the Anaplan platform. So basically, in development activities, what we are doing, my project is the financial planning and financial planning, budgeting planning project. In this one, what we are working, we are developing the Anaplan platform in my company. What we are doing is the initially we are getting the requirement gathering from the client. What requirement gathering from the client? What are the previous what planning activities they are doing? So what are the input activities? What are the calculation formulation what they are doing? What are the output they are doing? Based on this one, we are create the design document. So based on the design document, we are implementing the Anaplan platform. We are creating the model. So model and lists and dimension all the things. After that, we are creating the what are the input modules? So we are enter the data into the input modules, and based on that, what are the logic we are using for planning purpose? What are the logics calculations they are using? So we are incorporating into the input, write the calculations, and after that we are getting the output. So what are the output? What are the requirement output we are getting? So after that, but based on this output is nothing but it is a report format. For this output format, we are getting the analysis for that all the financial analysis we are doing. For that output, we are connecting to the UX pages. We are creating the reports, bar charts, pie charts, and all the things. Reports we are creating and dashboards we are creating in this project. These are the my development activities we are doing in my previous project.
Okay, Srinivas. So in reports, what are the different types of reports you have prepared? What are the components of the reports?
So in UXPI, we are reporting the so many types of report like bar charts, pie charts, and multiple combinations of charts and for what I'm saying, what I'm different types of reports based on the user requirement we are creating.
Did you prepare Profit and loss reports.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah. You are asking that like what not we are profit and loss report we are preparing. So basically, we are my client is the manufacturing unit. What we are writing is so after completion of the all the planning activities, we are summarize the reports. What are the summarized report means product wise summarize the report, zinc report, paint report, and so what are the HR availability report and different of line wise report like that we are not in not like a profit and loss report we are going to the line wise product wise things like that report we are preparing so after the completion of the production planning activities we are run the costing of the this product so what we are doing in costing is we have the we are enter the inputs in the different stores and spares, admin expenses, and raw material cost, output sales, different inputs. We are enter the data into the costing input templates. For that one, we are writing a logic. What are the costing required logics? For that costing, after completion of the costing cycle, we are create the reports. What reports is EBITDA report. After what is the EBITDA we are getting stores and spares summary report and admin salaries and wages report and output sales report, what are the EBITDA, profit and loss, profit after tax report. So like that conversation reports. So this type of reports we are preparing. So not basically we are not preparing the profit and loss report. These are the manufacturing unit. We are preparing the costing and production planning reports. That's it. Yes, Asif. Uh,
Okay. What are the components of profit and loss reports?
So profit and loss reports in this one is what we are done is what are the sales we are what are the sales we are done in the last year and what are the expenses we are done. Let us suppose we are creating we are creating the one sales report. So from that sales we are deducting the what are the expenses like stores and spares expenses, admin expenses, so raw material cost. So what these are all minus in this one. What are the we are getting the revenue from that revenue we are minus this all the expenses. Then we are creating the EBITDA report, earning before tax and amalgamation report. So after the minus the interest, we are getting the PAT report and profit and loss report.
So you have covered only few things in profit and loss reports. We should cover more components here. How generally will we will get the
Okay.
profit and loss reports?
Profit and what Steve,
Profit and loss reports, how generally do we get? If I want to calculate the profit and
um,
loss, what are the things I need?
profit and revenue. One is the revenue
Yes,
and expenses
yes,
and
revenue
margin.
expenses.
What are the margin we are getting and margin percentage what we are getting. So like that we are getting the profit and loss reports we are
Okay,
preparing,
but you are
right?
explaining only two, three things. But in expenses, how many types of expenses do we have?
Mm, expenses. So we have. Mm,
Can I explain also?
yeah. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, as per season upfront, if we going with manufacturing and production, we have trading and profit and loss account. In trading account, we will get the opening stock, purchases, gross profit, closing stock, and revenue. From revenue, we minus from revenue, we get from that is the trading account for these all six components. Or we will also get direct expenditure like materials, some other things, direct labor, all those things will also get in the direct expenditure. When we come to, I mean, we'll transfer that gross profit into profit and loss account. Another measure in profit and loss account, we will get indirect expenses such as marketing, admin expenditure. In marketing, we'll have I mean advertisement expenditure, sales expenditure, other commissions, all those things. In admin expenditure, we'll have rent, building rent, factory rent, any miscellaneous rent. I mean office maintenance expenditure, general expenditure for office, and some other things also. In operating expenditure, by subtracting all these expenditures from profit and loss account, we'll get EBITDA, I mean earnings before tax and depreciation and amortization. From that, we can have to remove the depreciation and amortization cost. After removing that, we will get EBT, earnings before interest and tax. From that, earnings before interest and tax, we have to remove interest, which is we simply call it as the finance cost. So if you have taken any loans, other things, all those accumulated interest will come and sit in the interest cost. And after removing the interest, we will have EBT, earnings before tax. From that, we will remove the tax. After removing the tax, we will get EAT, earnings after tax. That is the actual profit for us.
Yes, correct, Amarnath. Even you can see here traveling expenses. It can include
Yeah, that's what.
yes, some security
Operating
expenses. So Srinivas, you have missed these things: traveling expenses, security expenses, admin expenses. So these are the different types of.
Yes.
Yes, Srinivas.
Yes, yes,
Are you
yes,
speaking?
yes, yes, yes.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cost of sales, cost of goods. You can say cost of goods nothing but whatever the goods you are manufacturing, to make that one,
Yes, 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 sir.
how much you are doing expenditure. So these are the all the things we need to include in the profit and loss components. In our
Yes,
level 1, what we have, only we have profit and loss report. In profit and loss reports, we have profit is equal to revenue minus cost of sales and employee expenses, non-employee expenses. Only these things we have. To get the profit and loss reports from revenue, we will remove here, subtract only cost of sales, employee expenses, non-employee expenses. But coming to real time, so what are the different types of expenses we have? These are the expenses we need to include. So can you cover all these things, Srinivas, and can you give once again profit and loss use case and user story?
Asif bhai, just one thing.
sorry.
So can we just
Yes,
simply say that no,
1 minute.
revenue generated minus capital expenditure and operation expenditures, simply like that, or we need to explain everything from capital expenditure what all includes and operation expenditure what all includes.
Just same thing we need to do. So logic will be same. From revenue only you need to subtract all the expenses. But the thing we should explain, what are the different types of expenses. What are the in revenue also we have only one component in our level 1. In generally revenue also we will get the direct revenue, indirect revenue. So like this we will have some classifications. So we need to cover that points as well, correct? So that whatever we have in level 1, so that is the basic concept we have, how to understand what is the profit and loss reports. But in real time, what should we do? We have lot of expenses, lot of revenue. You will get the revenue from the different sources. So that also you need to include here. So then only what happens. So interviewer will understand that this guy has done some real time projects. So only whatever the level 1 we have, if you explain that one, everyone can understand this guy from the community. So simply they will understand. That is the reason we need to include all these things. Yes, is it clear, Jilani?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. So Srinivas, can you explain once again profit and loss use case and user story briefly?
Yes. Basically, so what my in my project is there divided. We are divided into the three parts. That is the one is the marketing, and second one is the production planning (PPC), and third one is the costing. So final is the reporting activity. So in this one, what we are doing is marketing people are providing the marketing data. So what are the sales data they are providing, width wise, thickness wise, product wise, segment wise, region wise, they are providing. So based on marketing data we are getting the from the production planning people. So production planning people, what they are doing is based on the plant capacity, they are what they are doing is they are allocating the what are the marketing quantity into the line wise, location wise they are allocating. So after that we are doing the Anaplan, we are planning the Anaplan activities, we are writing the logics of the what are the production planning, uh, budgeting and planning activities, we are writing the logic input, we are preparing the inputs and output, logics and output, we are getting the report line wise, product wise, location wise, we are getting the reporting in the production plan. So after completion of the production planning, what we are doing, quantities are finalized. So then what we are doing is we are that data enter into the costing platform. So what costing, what in costing, what we are doing is, so we are basically we are doing the profit and loss report, expenses report, what are the expenses we have done in location wise, what how much expenses we have done. So line wise, what are the expenses we have done, what are the stores and spares expenses we have done, and salaries and wages expenses we have done. So what are the depreciation cost, what are the depreciation cost we are we are given to the depreciation cost we are calculated, and what are the commission to the give to the other vendors, and raw material cost, we are calculating the raw material cost, what are the raw material cost, what are the salaries, what are the admin expenses, what are the plant maintenance. So many things we are in this one, we are these all the things we are creating the one direct and indirect expenses. In the direct, we are what are the direct expenses, some what are the explaining those things, we are some expenses going to the direct expenses, some expenses going to the indirect expenses. So like that we are calculating the brand calculation. So what are the brand, we are spending the advertisement expenses. So like that we are all expenses, and what are the revenue we are getting from the output. So from the after completion of the output product, so what how much revenue we are getting. So that based that revenue, after that from that revenue we are deducting these expenses, and raw material cost we are deducting, salaries we are deducting, plant maintenance we are deducting, commissions we are deducting, uh, so many expenses, depreciation we are deducting. So from deducting, after we are getting the EBITDA. So EBITDA. So from EBITDA we are calculating. After EBITDA we are calculating. We are from the EBITDA. We are getting some loan from the bank. So we are minus the interest. So from EBITDA we are minus the interest. We are getting the PAT, profit after tax report. So we are creating the EBITDA report as well as profit and loss report. We are for that we are creating the profit and loss report for the users.
Okay, great,
Yes, sir.
Srinivas. So we need to cover all these things. Then what happens? Interviewer will he can believe us. Otherwise, what happened? If you explain simply profit and loss is equal to revenue minus revenue minus cost of sales and expenses, employee and non-employee expenses. This is the only learning center part. So other than that one, nothing we have. But in real time, we have a lot of things. We need to include all these things. So Jilani Basha, can you explain briefly on project use case and user story?
Yes, Asad. So you just want me to go from starting or just use case and user story?
User use case and user story briefly I want.
Okay. Okay, so so my name is Jilani Basha. I have over 15 years of experience, and in my experience, I have worked for Anaplan for 3.2 years. In my experience, I have done two implementation end to end, in which I have worked for the financial planning and analysis model. So in this, the implementation actually I have done from end to end. The user stories in my project, the recent project is that budgeting, financial planning and analysis, and then I have worked on various reports like forecasting, performance analysis, and cash flow, and then balance sheet, profit and loss, variance analysis. So all these reports that I have prepared for our client. So when it comes to budgeting, actually, we have worked as a team, to make sure that we are giving the budgeting plan for our client basis on the existing data, so that with the budgeting, we have prepared some targets and goals for the client, and then we have monitored closely those targets and the goals that we have given to the client, so that they can be achieving as per the requirement. And then when it comes to forecasting, what we have done is that we have used the existing data for the forecasting calculation, so that we can prepare what are the sales that client can come across in future, or the challenges that they may come across. So basis on that, we have used Anaplan techniques, and then prepared a forecasting, and then helped our client to monitor their sales and the revenue based on the forecasting. So when it comes to performance analysis, so what we have done is, then the basis on the budget and forecasting that we have prepared, so we have we have been monitoring the performance of the company, whether the forecasting is as per whatever we have designed. Is it the sales are happening or not? So are there any challenges? So basis on that, we have been monitoring the performance, and then we have helped the our client to make sure that they are overcoming those challenges if they are coming any kind of if they are facing any kind of challenges. And we have also prepared cash flow. Cash flow is nothing but uh, the amount of cash which is generated from different organizations, like expenditures, like expenditures kind of thing. So and we have also helped our client to prepare balance sheet,
One minute.
profit and loss. Yeah.
In cash flow, what are the things, if you want to calculate the cash flow, what are the things do you need to know?
So the things to know to calculate the cash flow is that I should be knowing on how much expenditure, I'm spending on the kind of the employee expenses, as well as the other operation expenditures, like employee salaries. Let it be employee salaries, or their other expenditure, like incentives or car allowances, any other allowances, and as well as any building related, the capital expenditure, in the sense that where we are spending the amount for the building investment or infrastructure as well.
Okay, is this inflow or outflow, whatever the expenditure you are doing?
So this is outflow. Everything is outflow.
Outflow. Okay, so and what are the other things do you need to know? In cash flow you have, one is the inflow and one is the outflow. In inflow, what are the things will you calculate, and outflow, what are the things do you calculate?
So in inflow, so outflow, as I said, we will be calculating everything, like included the employee related expenditure expenses, like their salary and all those things, and other operational expenditures. And inflow, we will be checking how much revenue is being generated by selling our products.
Okay, so from what is the revenue we are getting? So this is comes under the inflow or outflow?
Revenue is, this is considered as inflow. Whatever the revenue that is being generated by selling our products is called the inflow.
By selling the products, or whatever the amount you are getting,
Yes, sir.
only by selling the product you don't get amount. Sometimes
Yeah,
what happens, company put amount on the some shares, for example in share market they put, so for that also they will get income. If they get like
Yes.
that, so we can't say that is getting the revenue we are getting from the selling the products or something, correct? So that is the reason revenue also we will get from different resources. So some companies, what happen, they will manufacture some house offices, and they will give for the rent. So for that offices also you will get the rent. So simply That is also one type of revenue, correct?
Correct.
So this we need to understand. So revenue generally we don't have only one type of revenue. So we have different types of resources generally to get the revenue for any company. So we need to cover these things as well. Revenue,
Yeah, yeah.
what different types of revenue. So by selling the product, one type of revenue will get. If you have multiple buildings, if you give them for rent, so you will get revenue from that rents as well. So everything we need to cover. So then only it makes sense. So otherwise it simply become like a uh, community report. So fine, you can go ahead, Jilan.
Yeah, actually, so cash flow we have discussed, and profit and loss report also. We have worked as a team and help our client to understand where exactly they are standing in terms of profit or loss. So while doing the profit and loss reports, what we have done is that we have considered everything. So the profit being generated by selling their products, or if the client has any other kind of shares, or any other kind of inflow is there. No, that is also included in that, and all together is taken as a revenue. And then when it comes to calculate the revenue that is being generated from the business that they have, they have. So what we have done, whatever all the incoming or the revenue that is being generated, we have taken it as a one item. And then we have included all the expenditure, let it be the employee related salaries, or employee related medical expenses expenditures, or and building related the expenditure, like let it be the rent or the lease amount, or any other any other expenditure that is going as an outflow is considered as another line item. And then we have prepared a profit and loss report by removing the amount which is by removing the total by removing the expenditure from the revenue being generated. So that is how actually we have helped our client to report the profit and loss report, and we have showcased it using the different the UX pages as a vision, as a view. And yeah, those are the main reports that I have worked in my previous project. Done, Asif. Chala. Anything I missed, guys, before Asif comes? Srinivas,
Okay. Yes, Jilani bhai.
anything you want me to add or remove?
Yes, Abdurrahman, can you explain briefly about the project use case and user story? Yes. After self introduction, give me self introduction and then start your detailed project use case and user story.
Okay, Asif. Hi, everybody. This is Syed Abdurrahman, and I have around 3 years of Anaplan model builder experience. Basically, I have done BE graduation from Osmanian University, and before that, uh, in the initial stage of my career, I worked as a mechanical engineer in various construction projects. But at present, I'm working as an applied model builder in a massage specialized construction company, and I have around 3 years of experience there. So uh, mostly, what we are doing, our use cases was. about financial planning and analysis. And in this, the process is that during the start of the project, there will be one kickoff meeting, and in the kickoff meeting, we will uh, consider all the things that are required by the end user and the client, what kind of reports they need, and what kind of information and what kind of planning we have to do. All these things we will be recording it, and according to it, we will create this technical design document uh, in coordination with our solution architect and our end users. And after creating this technical design document, we start doing the model building activities, where we will start creating the lists. We will select the time calendar as per the requirement, and we will create the versions, and we will create the lists, different kind of lists, and we will create the modules, and we use this uh, modules for a calculation purpose, and we will use the required logics and perform all this calculation, and we will generate these reports, and these reports we will publish to the user experience pages for the end user purpose, so that they can view the data, and they can plan accordingly. So this was the procedure which we were following, and the use case was like financial planning and analysis. In this use case, we created, we prepared different types of reports, like profit and loss reports, cash flow statements, and balance sheet, capital expenditure report, operational expenditure report, and we used to create all these kind of reports, and we used to perform all these operations, and provide these reports to the end user.
Abdurrahman, are you explaining something or you have stopped?
I have stopped.
So, in profit and loss reports, what are the components we have and what are the different things did you calculate in profit and loss reports?
Basically, in profit and loss report, we use several components like revenue, cost of sales, margin percentage, and profit. So in revenue, we have direct revenue and indirect revenue. Direct revenue is the revenue which is generated by selling the goods and products, which the revenue which we have generated directly. And indirect revenue is that the revenue which we are getting from different kind of rents and others. Side businesses of our company. So this is direct revenue and indirect revenue. We will aggregate these revenues to form revenue.
Abdurrahman, 1 minute. So, while explaining our project, so we should not say direct revenue means this one, indirect revenue means this one. We should explain such a way, directly you should speak here how you should feel, you are giving interview, and I am an interviewer. So like that, while in our project we have, these are the sources, direct sources, and these are the indirect sources, and we got these are the direct expenses, these are the indirect expenses we got. So everything you should own yourself for your company and your project. We should not say if you direct means this one, indirect means this one, means this is a theory answer. So simply what should we say? So that we need, whatever we are delivering, so that should be, we should own our project, and we should focus to our project, and Yes, yeah, I have faced. These are the challenges I have faced, and these are the things. Everything we should general we should not speak. We should uh, focus to your project, whatever you are delivering. Are you getting?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So if we speak generally, what happened? It doesn't point out anything. Anything. So it is a theory answer. But if you point out your project, yes, in our project, in our company, we have the like direct revenue and indirect revenue. So like direct revenue, we got like from the selling the products, and indirect revenue. So we got like we have multiple buildings. So we have like for uh, for giving the rent and everything. So we are getting even like a different indirect revenue as well for our company. Like that we have different resources, and so that all resources will consider the indirect revenue. Like that we should own ourselves whatever we are giving delivery. So is it clear?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes, go ahead. Everything whatever you are speaking, you should find focus to your project. And I have done this one in my project. Like that you should explain.
Okay, Ashish. And another component is cost of sales. This we are getting by selling all the products, all the revenue what we are getting is the second. Another component is cost of sales, which is we are getting as another component, and we will subtract this cost of sales from the complete revenue to get this margin, and
1 minute,
from this
Abdurrahman.
margin,
1 minute. What are the cost of sales for your project? Generally, you have to, your company is a manufacturing company, construction company, I hope, and they'll do
yes,
manufacture. They will different
yes,
constructions, correct?
yeah,
So, what type
yes.
of cost you will get generally?
There are employees cost. We have employee cost and material purchasing cost we have, and transportation cost we have, and uh, like this we have many
Will you buy
costs.
any products or
And
not? Will you buy any products to uh,
yes, this material cost, material purchasing cost.
purchasing cost? So, whatever the uh, products you are manufacturing, and
Yes,
so
yes,
material cost, so different.
material cost
Yes,
and
labor cost,
labor
labor
cost we
cost, and
have,
traveling costs.
manpower cost, and
Yes,
transportation cost.
yes. We need
Like
to include
this.
all these things whenever we are explaining about the expenses.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
And employee and we have employee drivers cost. We are giving some incentives to the employees who are giving outstanding performance. So we have this employee drivers cost where we are giving incentives and bonus, and um, like this we have various different kinds of cost. So we are from this we are getting the margin by subtracting all these costs from the revenue. We are getting this margin, and after that we have other indirect costs such as bank loan, interest we have, and utilities we have, and building, offices rent we have. So we subtract this from all these indirect expenses from the margin to get the gross profit. So by like this we are creating this profit and loss report, and all these components will be visualized in the user experience pages for the end user purpose.
Okay. Abdurrahman, your confidence needs to improve. Okay, how Jilani and the Srinivas, how they're speaking. So just whatever we have done, we need to deliver with confidence. So that will help us. So if we speak with less confidence, what happens? So they don't believe us. So whatever we are speaking, whether it is right or wrong, we should be very confident and our sound should be loud. So that will help us. Yes, go ahead. So
Yes.
yes, go ahead. This is about the profit and loss reports. What about your cash flow
Yes.
and balance sheet, capex and opex?
Uh, Operational expenditure report mainly consists of different types of expenses which are currently ongoing to run the project. Like this, all these employees' expenses report, material purchasing report, material purchasing expenses, employee expenses. All this comes under this uh, operational expenditure report. And similarly, this capital expenditure reports are consists of different types of revenue which are getting from other sources which company has, like they have some own buildings and some other trades, so they are getting revenue from this. So all these things we are including in this capital expenditure report. And similarly, we were preparing these cash flow statements, and in this cash flow statement, we are including all the uh, details of all the cash which is flowing into the business and which is going out of our business as expenses. So all these things we will include, and we are doing this variance analysis uh, to calculate the difference between what we have expected and what was the actual which we got in terms of profit and loss, and what are the various causes, and what precautions we need to take. All these things we used to consider uh, about this. So all these things we used to prepare in our user story.
Okay. Can you explain this cash flow and balance sheet?
Yes, in this cash flow statement, we are recording all the cash which is going into our business through uh, different types of operations, such as uh, by performing our work at the project, we are creating the invoice and we are getting our and all this revenue we are including in our cash flow statements, and we are also including all the expenses like employee expenses, and manpower expenses, and the workers expenses, and all this transportation expenses, all the expenses that are involved in our business we are calculating.
Is one send message as a rejoin in all groups?
Ashish sir, I have small doubt. So have you discussed about project earlier, the FP&A project?
Yes, Ankireddy.
Okay.
Sorry, come again, Ankireddy.
Actually, I don't know. So everyone's saying same points and FP&A and cash flows, same points and discussing same thing. So I have come out. So you have already discussed about that project, how to uh, give the introduction and project explanation and
Yes, yes, Ankireddy, this is a basic thing, correct? So cash flow, I have discussed a lot of times. So again, we will every time we'll get this is repeated topic, use case and user story generally. So every time we'll discuss this one. So
okay.
that is not a new story. If there's a first, whenever if we start use case and user story, so we need to cover all these points.
Okay. So I'm new to here, right? So that's why I'm getting.
Yes, yes, you can note down these points. I will share even recorded session as well. You can note down all these points. So these are the important things, Ankireddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In project use case and user story, we need to explain all these things.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. Okay.
Once send message as a region in all groups. Yes, Abdurrahman, go ahead regarding like cash flow statement and balance sheet.
So in this cash flow statements, we are recording all the income which is coming, all the income which is coming into our business, like we are performing various work at site, and we are creating the invoices, and we are submitting it to the client, and we are receiving all the invoice amount which we include in this cash flow statement, and all the expenses like monthly employee expenses we have, employee drivers we have, and material cost expenses we have, and utilities, everything. All these expenses we are including in this cash flow statement. So at the end of the day, we will know where we are in terms of profit and loss, and we can judge how the cash is flowing into and out of our business. So we can predict, and we can understand how, and we can plan how we need to maintain our cash flow. So this is about the cash flow statement.
Yes, fine. So, Ankireddy, what do you know about the profit and loss reports? This FP&A use case and user story. Can you explain anything?
Sir, actually, so I don't in Anaplan, but I know in finance terminologies. So what is the profit and loss account? And
Yes, you don't know about the financer?
yeah, I know finance.
Okay. So in finance. Finance, okay,
Yeah.
fine. But in use case and user story, how will you explain?
So that's really I don't know, sir, how to explain. So as of now I'm stuck in that place only. So use cases and project explanation only. So suppose if they ask any Anaplan questions, I can answer. But coming to the project, so I'm not answer, sir.
Yes, so that is what we are discussing, correct?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
anyway, yes, Saber Khan, so what will you explain about your project use case and user story, whatever we have covered so far according to these topics? What is your project use case and user story? Yes, are you there, Saber Khan? Yes, are you there or not? Yes. So Vani, what will you explain regarding this project use case and user story? As per our discussions, what did you understand?
I understand, but I don't know how I will deliver. I'll try.
Okay, whatever you know, you can cover, not an issue.
Hi, I'm Vani Uppala. I'm currently working as an Anaplan model builder. I have around 3+ years of experience into development, and before that, I was into support. And overall, I was into, I worked as a Scrum Master earlier, and now I chose this career. And recently in our company, we got a use case saying that to develop FP&A models. So in FP&A, we have several reports, right? Like profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flows. So we are currently working on that, and we have got the requirements from our business users saying that they need profit and loss reports in Anaplan because they have these reports, but they want in detailed view in the UX pages, which is really helpful for them to make a quick decisions. So we have got this use case. So we with our team started developing, starting with the business requirements. So we got the requirements from the end users, and we so initially we worked on the technical document, and then we started preparing the use cases like profit and loss account requires sales, like it requires revenue, cost of goods, sales. So we have to check like where do we get this data, and all those things we have included in the technical document. And after that, we slowly started developing the models. So initially we started with the revenue because we started working in the sprint. So initially we started with the revenue model, and in revenue model we calculated like we take the line items like sales, discount, net revenue, cost of goods sold, and what else I'm missing in revenue? Margin profit, net profit, and units sold. What's the unit price? So we have taken all this information from the sources, and we try to build this model. And later we were also, I mean, we also built this cost of goods sold. So it includes like the details like what are the raw materials needed, what is the labor cost, manufacturing, and other expenses, other miscellaneous expenses, and which also includes like operating expenses, capital expenditure. So in the OPEX, coming to operational expenditure, we have salaries, rent, utilities, marketing expenses, office expenses, all these things. And coming to capital expenditure, like how much we are investing on machinery, and what is the depreciation, and what is the Mm, so for few products, we take them on lease. So those lease details or everything will be included. And here. So after developing these models, we kind of do the calculations. So we follow DISCO framework and we develop the models further in order to prepare the use case, UX pages. That's all I can say, Asif. The
Okay,
in
fine.
detail project explanation I'm not able to do. I don't know. However, I prepare. I'm not able to explain the live project what I've worked on.
Okay, fine. So whatever we are covering here, so that all the try to note down all these points, like
Okay.
for profit and loss reports, what are the components we have, and for other like cash flow statements and balance sheet, and so what we have like capex and opex. So for all these things, you need to prepare the points and try to give the mock interview on that one. So it will be helpful for you. Yes, fine.
Okay.
Yes, Sabar, are you there? Can you give one this profit and what is your project use case and user story? Something can you explain?
Yeah, hi.
Yes. Can you go ahead?
I didn't prepare like regarding project.
Okay.
So
So
basis on like profit and loss, every like business has like profit and loss. So based on that, we need to creating the modules and everything. Like like whatever the sale we are getting on like basis of weekly or like half and yearly basis.
okay.
So based on that, we need to calculate the business like cost of sales and like earning from that like gross profit and like net profit as well.
Okay. So in cost of sales, in expenses we have different types of costs. So that you need to prepare notes whatever we are covering here, and you need
So
to deliver here. So expenses and revenue, and what is cash flow statement, what is the balance sheet. So
yes.
Amarnath, can you give brief explanation here?
Yes, 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 I'll try to do. Yeah, hi everyone, this is Amana. I'm basically from Tirupati. I have overall experience of 7 plus years. In that first 3 years, I have worked with chartered accountancy firm, and remaining 4 years, I have been working as an Anaplan model builder. Coming to my educational background, I am a semi-qualified chartered accountant along with bachelor's degree in BCom computers. One of the recent projects which I have worked on is FP&A use case project, in which I have prepared mm, profit and loss account based on the requirements of the client, based on the requirement which was provided by our client. In this project, I have worked on another model builder. I have involved in end-to-end implementation of the project, and I have been involved in requirement gathering and attending meeting with the client. Yeah, one of the, I mean, in profit and loss account, we have prepared the reports like profit and loss, cash flow statement, balance sheet, variance analysis, and operating expenditure reports, forecast reports, and employee expenditure reports, and employee status reports like that. And so while coming to the project, project development, we have created a module using the product, time, region, currency, and all those things. And when coming to the components of the profit and loss account, we have revenue, cost of goods sold, and gross margin. And when coming to the expenditures, which will be subtracted from the gross margin, those are administrative expenses, which involves salaries, regular office expenditure, general expenditure. And we have another main heading, marketing expenditure, which is part of which includes the sales and distribution expenditure. marketing expenditure, all those things. And research and development expenditure, we also have operational expenditures such as traveling, regular expenditures which are incurred for operating the business. Later we have EBA, TDA, and we have depreciation also one of the expenditure, and interest also one of the expenditure we will remove from the gross profit. All those things, after removing all those things, we will get EBA, EBIT from EBIT, sorry, EBT, sorry, EBT. From that we will remove tax to get EAT. And while preparing the cash flow statements, we have major three components. For our cash flow statements, there is a major three steps. One is operating expenditure column, one is cash flows from the investment of investments, and cash flows from the financing activities. So while preparing the operating activities, we just normally prepare it like what are the um, sales minus all those things. Like it is simply like a finance profit and loss account heads only. We will remove sales from sales. We will remove other expenditures what we are incurred. We will get profit from cash flows from operating activities. For investment activities, we can say what are the investments we have made in fixed assets, or investments in shares, investments in other companies. And what are the expenditures we have incurred for those investments, will all that all will come in investment activities. And financing activities, what are the loans we have taken, how much interest we are paying to them, how much, all those things will include, and what are the loans our company has given, all those things will come in the financing activities. So based on those all these things, we prepare cash flow statement. Well, coming to the balance sheet, we simply have balance sheet has two phases. One is liabilities and assets. Liabilities side, we have equity, loans, and current liabilities. In equity is all related to the shareholders and their related activities and reserves and surplus. In loans might be long term or short term. In these loans, we have borrowings from the financial institutions, banks, or any other loans we have borrowed from any loan related parties. How these things will come under the loans and liabilities. And current assets, we have current liabilities. We have tax payables, any other employee payables, or any other outstanding expenditure, and any sundry creditor payments. All those things come in the sundry, current liabilities. While coming to the assets, we have fixed assets, current non-current assets, and current assets. In fixed assets, all those things we have is what are the fixed assets, fixed investments we have made in our office like furniture or systems, computers, and those things will come. Non-current investments, any investments made in other companies, all those things will come in the non-current assets. The current assets are simply data, cash balance, bank balances, whatever we have, any other advances we have paid, advances, all those things will come under the current assets. That's it.
In balance sheet, what are the things comes? Can you repeat?
Yeah, most first, in balance sheet we have balance sheet has two phases. One is assets and one is liabilities. In liabilities we have main liabilities, we have equity. Equity capital. Equity. Capital account, and liability. Financing activities and current liabilities. In financing activities, we can also say that non-current liabilities. Uh, First, equity is it will only cover shareholders' funds. Shareholders' capital, any preference capitals or is there, or any reserves and surplus. What is reserves and surplus means? It's addition on the accumulation of profit and loss account, profit balance. It come and add to this last year's opening balance. It will add to this like that. And loans, financing, non-current liabilities are simply we can say loans and liabilities from financial institutions, any other bank or something, or any loans from other persons. Current liabilities, we have any Sunday creditor payments, yeah, outstanding balances, any tax payables, any other GST payables, any outstanding payables, all those things come in there. These are the this all payments accumulate the liabilities. Well, coming to the assets, we have fixed assets. In fixed assets, we have tangible and intangible. Tangible assets are fixed items like machinery, plant and machinery, and any vehicles we have, any furniture we have in the office, computers and accessories will come in the tangible. In intangible, we have any software related items like any softwares we have purchased for office purposes. All those come and add in the intangible assets. Those all six accumulates fixed assets related. And non-current assets, we have any investments we have made in other companies, like that will cover in the non-current assets. In current assets, we have sundry debtors, trade receivables, you can say it. Otherwise, any advances we have received, any cash balance and bank balance, any other non-current assets will add in the will accumulate the assets side.
So what is the equity then?
Equity itself, share capital, share capital plus reserves and surplus. It will be part of liability side only in balance sheet.
Okay, so we need to focus all these points in what are the assets and what are the liabilities. So assets nothing but whatever the amount we need to get,
I
and
will share a detailed format for all those things, cash flow, balance sheet and P&L, so that all can prepare.
okay, fine, that is great. So you can see everyone try to note these points like what are the assets we have generally in under the assets, what are the things comes under assets and what are the things comes under the liabilities. So these we need to check each and every time, we need to remember these points. And what is our balance sheet formula? So what is our balance sheet formula, Amarnath?
Balance sheet formula.
Yes, assets is equal to,
Assets is equal to liabilities.
yes. So we need to like assets and liabilities should be equal here. So whatever the assets we have, so and you have number of equity shares also we have there. So this one also we need to understand here. So assets is equal to liabilities plus equity, number of equity shares. So
Yes,
these
you can
things
say.
try to remember these points, and so note down these points, otherwise we can't deliver. So they will ask cross questions and we should be ready for all these things, so then only we can give the proper answers. So Samyadin, can you give what is your project use case and user story for the
Yes, sir.
FP&A?
Just a minute.
Yes,
Could you please repeat that formula? Assets is equal to
assets is
liability.
equal to liabilities plus
Liabilities plus equity.
equity.
Equity
Versus
side.
okay. Assets is equal to liabilities plus versus
Equity,
equity.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay, fine. Samyadin, can you explain what is your project use case and user story? In FP&A, what can you explain? So, as per your knowledge and by watching your notes or whatever it. So, what can you explain about this one project use case and user story?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can explain. What you know, you can explain. Not a problem. So, if you say anything wrong, I will correct.
Okay.
Yes, what is your give me self introduction.
I am Muhammad Samyuddin from Hyderabad. I have 4+ year of relevant experience in Anaplan model builder,
Okay, great.
and I have coming to my education qualification. I have completed Bachelor of Science from Usman University.
Yes, education is enough. Yes, go ahead. And what is your organization? That one also we need to cover here. So like I have been working for this company, this project on this over Anaplan, and my project is like FP&A project. So these things you need to cover here.
Currently, I am working in Perfection Private Limited.
Okay, and what is
Mostly
your
it is financial.
domain, in which domain you are working? you are working for the FP&A domain, and FP&A Anaplan, I am working on Anaplan, and FP&A is a use case.
And
Yes, go ahead. So what are your user
some
stories? What are your user stories? Means what are the reports you have prepared, and can you go through it?
okay,
In,
I have prepared modules and list in
not modules and list. So far, what we have covered, Samyuddin. Did you explain anything here? Modules, list, and UX pages from morning
no,
onwards. So what is our
no,
use case and user story? That one we need to explain, business wise we need to explain what is our intention and what we need here, what we are trying to do. So this is the functional part. Functional nothing but, so business how it runs. So generally our intention is calculation of profit and loss reports, preparing of balancing report and cash flow statement. These are our targets. So to get that reports, we'll use our Anaplan and we'll prepare the modules list, and that will be secondary. But our main intention, preparing of these reports, correct?
yes, sir.
Yes. So explain whatever we have covered so far for the use case and user story. So in use case and user story, what are the reports generally will prepare for FP&A project? Yes, for FP&A project, profit and loss reports
For
we have
FP&A project, by
cash flow.
analyzing the future reports in advance,
Okay. In profit and loss reports, what are the things we need to know if I want to calculate the profit and loss reports?
we know the revenue and cost of sales.
Yes, correct. And other than that one, so far what we have covered from morning onwards.
What end users expecting. So according to the requirement, we have to create that, and we have to build the process of designing the model.
Okay. In FP&A reports, what are the components do we have? What are the things? If I know, then I can calculate the profit and loss reports. So that one I am asking. If I want to calculate the profit and loss reports, what are the things should I know here, so that I can calculate the
We
profit and
have
loss
to
report?
we have to know the what the expenditure of
Yes.
company, like driver expenses and some purchasing expenditure.
Okay. Then
We have to calculate from that
expenses. What type of expenses do we have?
capex, opex,
Yes. So in
capital
operational
expenditure, and
expenditure, what are the things comes under it? In operational expenditure.
in operational expenditure we need rent and some salaries, driver
Yes.
salaries or employee salaries,
Yes. Great.
uh, bonus and
Yes. And transportation charges we have, and
transportation charges.
you can say traveling charges, and admin expenses, so security
Mhm.
expenses. So these are the different types of expenses we have. So we need to know all these expenses. So raw material cost, if we have some company, so raw
Um,
material cost also we should know. So to manufacture any product, we need to know raw material cost, then only we can calculate the
you can
expenses.
calculate
Yes.
expenses.
And yes, so all these things we need to cover, correct? So then only we can
Yes, sir.
calculate the profit and
We
loss
can
reports.
prepare.
So yes. So other than this one, so cash flow statements we need to calculate. So in under the cash flow statement, what are the things comes?
In cash flow statement,
Yes.
we have to calculate the expending amount,
Yes.
expenditure, and
So
what we
like
are receiving from.
yes. So spending that comes under the spending amount comes under the outflow. So and what is your inflow?
So means what we are buying and what we are selling at the time cost of sales, like and what's the margin is coming.
Yes. What are the
That's come
amounts?
under the
Yes. How the we are getting the income? So that comes under the inflow.
inflow.
Correct. So these things we need
Yes, sir.
to explain very confidently, Samyadin. So this you need to explain again and again. So then you will get confidence. So you are going right way. But the thing is, you need to explain why you are not joining at daily 2 p.m. while connecting others. Even I am pointing out you as well. So what is the problem? I am not getting. You are not even not giving reply as well. Yes.
I will be there. I will be joined, sir.
So every day some they are sending group in the message. Correct. 2 o'clock.
Yes.
So you need to whenever if you get any message in the group, so try to give the reply. Even in the group, Alam is asking to apply the workspace, and if you don't apply, and if you apply, check it. So what is the status? So already if you have applied once, so you can apply the second time as well. So no one is giving reply to him. Why it is happening? Even I am also giving. There I am also asking to replay them there, but no one is giving reply. What is the problem? I am not getting. So what is the status of yours, like workspace? Did you apply once or second time? What is the position? Srinivas,
Second
do you
time I
have?
asked about.
Yes, Samyadin, did you apply second time your workspace?
No, sir. I asked about that, but he said we need another laptop and we need another
Yes, that is a common thing. With
signal.
same laptop we can't apply. So you need to take friend laptop and you need to apply. Correct.
Yes, sir. I am trying for that.
So try to get the laptop and apply immediately. We don't have workspaces, otherwise we don't get any workspace. So now and LinkedIn profiles also we should have two if you are applying second time. Same LinkedIn profile we can't provide there. So they will reject simply. So Anaplan
Okay, sir.
to apply the workspace second time, even you need to create the another LinkedIn profile. So they're not providing that much easily workspaces. So we should be very careful and we should apply as soon as possible so that we'll get some workspaces so that we can use and we can practice. So no one is giving reply to alam. Samay they take the laptop from other side, try to apply. Vani, I hope your workspace has declined and they didn't provide. So I, uh, can you try with some other laptop and other person name?
Yes, sir. I'll try.
That will be helpful, and if we get workspace, that will be useful for us. So Abdurrahman, what about you? You are not giving response to Alam.
Yes, Asif bhai, actually, I need to complete the Anaplan way. I am in middle of the way. I have completed around six lessons.
Okay,
Still, I
but
need to complete
Alam will help
five
you if
lessons.
you connect with him. Okay,
Okay,
directly also you can get complete. It will get complete if you don't watch one by one. So directly also within 1 hour it will get complete. Once connect with Alam and he will help you.
okay, Asif bhai, I will connect with him.
Saber, what about you? Did you apply second time?
No, Asif, I do have like 1 2 weeks time, like previous one.
1 or 2 weeks, okay, fine, but you need to apply with different laptop
Yes.
now
Already
onwards.
to Alam bhai as well. He just going to like he sent me to create an email address and everything.
Everything we need to new email ID and everything and new laptop, and even we need to create the new LinkedIn profile. So to apply the
Yes,
second time, so then only it
yes,
works, otherwise it won't work.
yes, Asif.
Srinivas, what about you? Do you have workspace other than company? Personal workspace do you have?
I don't have, sir. I don't have.
Okay, company is that is we can't consider. So if you have personal, can you
Yes.
apply then personal workspace once? Then
Okay, sir.
we need it basically.
Okay.
Once connect with
Yes.
Alam and try to apply
Yes, yes.
workspace. And whenever we are giving the
Yes, yes.
reply,
Yes, sir.
asking in the group, try to give the reply as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll follow the June group, sir. I'll follow the June group.
Okay. So for him, what about you? Did you apply second time for your workspace?
Asif bhai, there's still 2 weeks for me for my existing ID, so I'm practicing on that. So
Okay.
actually, I've had a call with Alam. So he said still we have 2 weeks, so we can apply in the last week. He's saying.
Yes, try to apply with new laptop and with new LinkedIn profile. So it will help us
Okay.
to get the new workspace so that you can practice 3 more months. Otherwise, within
Yes,
2 weeks it will get crashed. You don't have anything to work to practice.
Asif
And
bhai, if you apply, how many days will get the ID? Any
10 to
idea?
15 days it takes. You don't get
Okay,
within
then.
2 3
Yes.
days.
Okay.
So if you apply now only, after 15 days you will get.
Okay, Asif bhai.
So okay, fine. Ankariti, do you have personal workspace?
Yes, sir, I have. I have.
So then once share me personally.
Actually, that's not my sister workspace, sir. I'm using that one.
Okay. So then can you apply for personal workspace? Then
Yeah, sure. I can apply.
so with new laptop and new LinkedIn profile, once apply and provide it.
Sorry, I can't understand, sir. LinkedIn profile.
Once apply and after getting that one, provide me. I am asking.
Yeah. Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
So first of all, when Alam is sending the message in the group, so for the workspace apply purpose, so try to give response and try to call him.
We'll connect with Alam today, Asif bhai.
Yes, fine. So anyway, and for him, can you explain what is your project use case and user stories?
I mean, just a project use case and user stories, Asif.
Yes, whatever we have covered today. So what you have understood and
I mean, in use case and user stories, we are preparing reports like profit and loss, cash flows, and the profit and loss reports. We are how do we create this profit and loss report is through revenue, cash of sales margins, and profit margin, and we have expenses like operational expenses. Under operational expenses, we have rent, salaries, bonus, transportation charges, traveling expenses, and admin expenses. And in cash flows are those expenses which no, cash flows are regular revenues which are revenues to the company. So under cash flows, we have spendings. Uh,
Cash flows are, so what are the two things we have in the cash flow?
Two things in cash flows. Um,
Cash inflow and cash outflow, correct?
yes, cash inflows. Yes, correct.
So what is mean by cash inflow?
Cash inflows are like um, it's like revenues to the project,
Okay.
and
What?
cash
Outflow?
outflows are expenses to the projects.
Yes. So whatever the expenses we have, that comes under the outflow.
Okay.
So basically we need to cover these things. So these are the important one. So we should not. So what are the incomings we have, that comes under the inflow, and whatever the expenditures we are doing,
Expenses.
so that comes under the
Yes.
outflow. We need to point out all those things. Then only it makes sense. So
Correct.
these are the things. Who is this user guest? User guest. Who is this user guest? May I know? Yes. So fine. So these are the things while explaining the project. So our project use case is the FP&A, financial planning and analysis project. So under financial planning analysis project, we'll do all these things. So like profit and loss reports and cash flow statements and balance sheet reports, and we can say like other than this one we have forecasting reports. So what is mean by forecasting reports? So what is the forecasting reports? We can cover this forecasting reports as well in FP&A. So what is the forecasting report? Srinivas, what is the forecasting report?
Yeah, Simbai. Forecasting report is nothing but a future estimation of the what are the actual present data. We can estimate the future estimation. So short term planning.
Okay.
Budgeting is a long-term planning activity, and forecasting is a what are the short-term target of the present actual data. So let us suppose we have the budget right now. We have the actual of the 100 rupees. So we can estimate the forecasting of the 105 rupees for the next forecast the next 6 months or 3 months activity. And if you what are the reach the budget in the short term, that is the forecasting.
Okay. So what are the things you have done the forecast? So they will ask like this. So what are the things you have done the forecasting?
Forecasting present actual data with what percentage of you can forecast that data. So value,
Ah.
which percentage you can increase that
Okay,
means
that is fine,
sir.
Srinivas. I
Yes,
can
sir. Tell me.
understand. So what are, for what things you have
Yeah.
done the forecast? Forecasting nothing but the future estimation. For what future you have
Yes, yes. Short term.
given?
Short term. Short term. Yes, yes.
Yes. For which
Short
things
term
forecasting you have
is
done?
sales, or what are the sales
Yes,
method
sales
can,
is one thing.
sales you can
You can say
improve.
sales one thing.
Yeah,
Other
sales
than sales, you
is
have a
one
lot
thing.
of things.
Yes, sir. So yes, yeah, that I got it, sir. I got the point. What is the sales? So let us suppose in my project you can compare this to what are the forecasting and budget. Let us suppose my capacity, my plant, my marketing people are providing a 100 tons of production is we are estimating the actual right now. So we can increase the forecast or budget the 110 percentage of the sales cost. Sorry, quantity. At the same time, revenue. So what are the revenue we can increase? I want the EBITDA for the next forecast, next year forecast year. I want the right now I have the 100 crores. I want to estimate my forecast value 110 crores. At the same time, all scenarios, this coming to the revenue, coming to the quantity, coming to the expenses, we can forecast all the activities we can do the in forecasting things.
Yes, these things we need to cover. So generally we'll do on the base of
Yes,
past
yes,
details, we'll do the future forecasting. So what future forecasting?
yes, yes, yes.
So we need to point out this revenue, margin, cost of sales, expenses, and profit and loss. So these things we should cover. So without that things, we have done
Yes.
forecasting means what forecasting we have done? Yes. So without this component only everyone will
Yes.
explain. I know. So, but we need to point out these things. So, on the base of past sales, how it is going to happen in the future, we have done the forecasting. And on the base of past expenses, how it is going to happen in the future, we have done the forecasting. So, these things we need to highlight here. So, then it makes sense. Otherwise, it
Yes, yes.
doesn't make sense. So, this is the forecasting reports.
Compare
And
with the, yeah,
yes. So,
compare with the
after
historical data. Yeah, comparing with the present data, you can forecast the what are based on the our what are the resources, what are the, our capacities, what are the, our revenues, what are the, our expenses. Based on that one, you can create the forecasting things.
yes. So these are the things, and other than this one, we can say this is a like we have the what type of forecasting you have done. So they will ask this one as well. So whether we have the lot of forecasting methods. So incremental forecasting, and we can say like average forecasting. So these are the different types of like forecasting.
Assist
Yes.
forecasting is rolling forecasting is one of the rolling forecast is there. So I
So
think
rolling forecast is
incremental
fine.
rolling forecast.
So rolling forecasting also, rolling nothing but forecasting each and every month. For example, this is February month. So rolling forecasting means
Yes,
I
yes, right.
want from February month to this month, 2025
Yes.
December I want
Quarter.
forecast,
Quarter.
and January month 2025 I
Yes.
want actual month, actual data. So this is a rolling forecast. And but in
Yes,
our
yes.
level 1 what we
Yes.
have done, so from Jan 2020 to December 2020, what we have done the forecasting. So simply for 1 year we have done the forecasting, but each and every month we didn't change, like so we didn't move any month, correct? So we have constantly we
Hello.
have considered the current period is the Jan 2020 only. So that is the normal forecasting. So but whenever if you expecting each and every month,
Hello.
if I am going March month, then I need data from March to December forecasting data. Jan Feb should be actual data. So this is a rolling forecast.
Yes.
Is it clear? So we are expecting, so from current month to till end of this year we should get the forecast data in our model, and before current month we should get the, our model should consist the actual data. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So each and every month it
Yeah.
forecast will go ahead. So on the base of current month selection, our forecast will move ahead. So that will be rolling forecast. Is it clear? So this is okay for rolling forecast and normal forecast. But what forecast method you have used? So they will ask this question. So what can we say? What forecasting method? Yes. What forecasting method did we use in our level 1? Yes. Driver based forecasting we have done. So driver based nothing but, so in our revenue price and cost we have given 5% increment we have given in our 10th lesson, 10th or 11th lesson. So if we provide 5% there, not 10th lesson, so in 9th lesson we have given that one, so 5%. So if we give 5% for the price and cost, so then what happened, so our increased value we got in the some other output module, correct? So that is the revenue and the cost are here drivers. Drivers nothing but which are driving the forecasting. Correct? So this increasing percentage we are adding in the our margin calculation module. Revenue 03 margin calculation module in our FP&A. So there we have calculated, we have given 1 plus unit cost growth percentage, unit price growth percentage line item we have created, and that whatever the percentage we have increased, so that we have applied here these line items. So these are the like driver based nothing but, so which things making the impacting on the forecasting. So that are the driver based forecasting. So what are the drivers for revenue means cost, sales and expenditures, and these are the like comes under the drivers. In our interview questions also you have what are the FP&A drivers. You can go through it. So we have 5 drivers we have there. So these are the driver based. And one more thing, we have the variance reports. So what is the variance reports?
Sir, could you please share your screen, sir?
Yes.
Yes,
Share your screen.
Asiba, variance report is the actuals versus budget. Actuals minus budget.
Actual minus actual, we will compare actual with our forecasting generally. Actual with budget
Yes,
and
yes.
actual with the forecasting. Nothing but what we are trying to do here, what we have given the prediction and what is the exact result. So whether we have predicted correct or not, should we compare or not?
Yes, we need to come.
Yes, should we
Yes,
compare
we need to
our
come, sir.
reports or not?
Yes, sir.
So that is the, we have given the prediction, but after completing that our time period, so whatever the prediction we have given, whether it is correct, whether it went correct or not. If it is wrong, then what was the mistake? Why we couldn't reach our sales revenue targets, whatever we have given the in forecasting? Correct?
Sir, here comparison means forecast values minus actual values.
Yes, forecast minus actual value, correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So what we'll do, we will compare our results. So then what happens, we'll get the variance reports. So variance means how, if variance is 0, it is fine, everything is fine. If you get variance, some variance, you have done the forecasting 110, 100 you have done the forecasting, but you sell only 90 products. So 10 is the variance, we are getting 100 minus 90, 10 you are getting variance. Why did you get this 10 is the variance? Yes? Why did you get?
So maybe it's
Because
not
we
in.
didn't reach the expectations.
So some, because of some problems, whatever it, so that we need to give the variance reports and so proper analysis, so that they can understand, yes, we didn't done proper marketing, we didn't done so something, so because of some seasonality, so because of this issue, so we couldn't sell proper products. So in this way they can understand and they will try to improve their area, so where they have lagged, so that they can they will reach their goals. So in this way it works. So these are the reports we should say. So forecasting reports and variance analysis reports, along with that profit and loss report, balance sheet and cash flow statements, capital expenditure and operational expenditure. So we have these 2 things. So forecasting reports and variance analysis reports. So all these things I will share this recorded session. Try to prepare notes and go through it, and while explaining the use case and user story, everything, Samyuddin, if you don't remember, by watching that points you should explain whatever the points I have covered just now, and everyone prepare the notes and share in the group whatever we have covered here. Is it clear? So, Srinivas, can
Yes,
you
yes.
give proper brief explanation this one? I want to stop my class. Can you give mock interview on this one? Whoever have the interest on this use case and user story, can you give? So, are you there, Srinivas? Amana, do you want to give? Anybody who don't get,
Yes, sir,
who
it's
didn't
fine.
get chance, do you want to give from starting onwards? Yes.
Amarnath, can you please respond?
Yeah. Asif, we will discuss sometime.